Changes to Laws of the Game 2019-2020. The 133rd AGM of the International FA Board, the IFAB, was held in Aberdeen, Scotland on March 2, 2019, and changes to the laws of the game for 2019-2020 related to 3 worldwide experiments were approved. These changes were approved following 2 years of worldwide experiments. Yellow and red cards for misconduct by team officials, a player being substituted leaving the field of play at the nearest point on the boundary line, at a goal kick and a free kick for the defending team in their own penalty area. Substituted player leaving the field of play. Law 3, the players. Rationale for the change. To tackle the unfair practice of a player who is being substituted taking a long time to leave the halfway line, which is not a law requirement, the player must now leave at the nearest point, as with an injury, unless the referee indicates otherwise. For instance, that the player can leave quickly at the halfway line, or because of a safety security issue, or because the player is injured and needs to leave on a stretcher. The substituted player must go straight to the technical area or dressing room to avoid interfering with match officials, substitutes, etc., and to avoid problems with spectators. A player who infringes the spirit of the law should be sanctioned by the referee for delaying the restart. Substituted player leaving the field of play. Amended text. Substitution procedure. To replace a player with a substitute, the following must be observed. The player being substituted receives the referee's permission to leave the field of play unless already off the field. The amended text reads, and must leave by the nearest point on the boundary line unless the referee indicates that the player may leave directly and immediately at the halfway line or another point, for instance, for safety, security, or injury. Must go immediately to the technical area or dressing room, and takes no further part in the match except where return substitutions are permitted. If the player being substituted refuses to leave, play continues.
تظهر وبشكل رائع جدا ومميز من خلال هذه البطولة. رويوتا يأخذ مكانه في أرضية الملعب. يشيما أنتلرز.
Substituted player leaving the field of play. Yellow and red cards for team officials. Rationale for the change. The experiment with a yellow card, red card for misconduct by team officials has been successful and has many benefits at all levels, including for young referees dealing with difficult adult coaches. Law 12 will include a list of the usual yellow card and red card offenses. If an offense occurs and the offender cannot be identified, the senior official, usually the main coach, who is in the technical area at the time of the offense will, as the person responsible for the other team officials, receives the yellow card, red card. Yellow card and red card for team officials. Law 5, the referee. The referee takes action against team officials who fail to act in a responsible manner and, the amended text says, shows a yellow card for a caution or a red card for a sending off from the field of play and its immediate surrounds, including the technical area if the offender cannot be identified. The senior team coach present in the technical area will receive the sanction. A medical team official who commits a sending off offense may. Yellow and red cards for team officials. Law 12, fouls and misconduct. Amended text. If before entering the field of play at the start of the match, a player or team official commits a sending off offense, the referee has the authority to prevent the player or team official taking part in the match, See Law 3.6. The referee will report any other misconduct. A player or team official who commits a cautionable or sending off offense, either on or off the field of play, is disciplined according to the offense. Only a player, substituted player, or team official may be shown the red or yellow and red cards for team officials. Disciplinary action. Team officials. Where an offense is committed and the offender cannot be identified, the senior team coach present in the technical area will receive the sanction. Warning. The following offenses should usually result in a warning. Repeated or blatant instances should result in a caution or sending off. Entering the field of play in a respectful, non-confrontational manner. Failing to cooperate with a match official, for instance, ignoring an instruction or request from assistant referee or the fourth official. Minor, low-level disagreement, by word or action, with a decision. Occasionally leaving the confines of the technical area without committing another offense. Yellow and red cards for team officials. Caution. Caution offenses include, but are not limited to, clearly, persistently not respecting the confines of their team's technical area, delaying the restart of play by their team, deliberately entering the technical area of the opposing team, non-confrontational. Yellow and red cards for team officials. Caution. Caution offenses include, but are not limited to, dissent by word or action including throwing, kicking drinking bottles, or other objects, gestures which show a clear lack of respect for the match officials, for instance, sarcastic clapping, entering the referee review area. Yellow and red cards for team officials. Caution. Excessively, persistently gesturing for a red or yellow card. Excessively showing the TV signal for a VAR review. Yellow and red cards for team officials. Caution. Gesturing or acting in a provocative or inflammatory manner. Persistent, unacceptable behavior, including repeated warning offenses. Showing a lack of respect for the game. Yellow and red cards for team officials. Sending off. Entering the opposing technical area in an aggressive or confrontational manner. Deliberately throwing, kicking an object onto the field of play. Yellow and red cards for team officials. Sending off. Entering the field of play to confront a match official, including at halftime and full-time. Interfere with play, an opposing player or match official. Yellow and red cards for team officials. Sending off. Entering the video operation room. Physical or aggressive behavior, including spitting or biting, towards an opposing player, substitute, team official, match official, spectator, or any other person, for instance, the ball boy or girl, security, or competition officials. Yellow and red cards for team officials. Sending off. Receiving a second caution in the same match. Using offensive, insulting, or abusive language and or gestures. Violent conduct. Yellow and red cards for team officials. Sending off. Using unauthorized electronic or communication equipment and or behaving in an inappropriate manner as the result of using electronic or communication equipment. Yellow and red cards for team officials. VAR protocol. Players, substitutes, and team officials. A player, substituted player, amended text, team official, who excessively shows the TV signal or enters the referee review area will be cautioned. A player, substitute, or substituted player, team official, who enters the VOR will be sent off. Defending team free kicks in their own penalty area. Law 13, free kicks. Rationale for the change. The experiment that at a defending team free kick in the penalty area, the ball is in play once it is kicked and does not have to leave the penalty area, has produced a faster and more constructive restart. Opponents must remain outside the penalty area and at least 9.15 meters away until the ball is in play. The change is linked to the proposed change to the goal kick. See Law 16. Defending team free kicks in their own penalty area. Amended text. The ball is in play when it is kicked and clearly moves. Defending team free kicks in their own penalty area. Offenses and sanctions. If, when the free kick is taken by the defending team inside its penalty area, any opponents are inside the penalty area because they did not have time to leave, the referee allows play to continue. If an opponent who is in the penalty area when the free kick is taken or enters the penalty area before the ball is in play touches or challenges for the ball before it is in play, the free kick is retaken. Goal kick. Law 16, the goal kick. Rationale for the change. The experiment that at a goal kick the ball is in play once it is kicked and does not have to leave the penalty area has created a more dynamic, constructive restart to the game. It has reduced the time lost and wasted and has stopped the tactic of a defender deliberately playing the ball before it leaves the penalty area, knowing that all that will happen is that the goal kick will be retaken. Opponents must remain outside the penalty area until the ball is in play. Goal kick. Amended text. The ball is in play when it is kicked and clearly moves. Goal kick. Offenses and sanctions. If, when a goal kick is taken, any opponents are inside the penalty area because they did not have time to leave, the referee allows the play to continue. If an opponent who is in the penalty area when the goal kick is taken or enters the penalty area before the ball is in play touches or challenges for the ball before it is in play, the goal kick is retaken.
It's Victor.
Summary of law changes and clarifications for 2019-2020. Other changes include clearer wording for handball. Attacking team players must be at least 1 meter away from a defensive wall. The goalkeeper only has to have part of 1 foot on the Summary of law changes and clarification for 2019-2020. A new dropped ball procedure. If the ball hits a match official and goes into goal. If the ball hits a match official and team possession changes. If the ball hits a match official and a promise. Summary of law changes and clarifications for 2019-2020. Dropped ball. If play is stopped inside the penalty area, the ball will be dropped for the goalkeeper. If play is stopped outside the penalty area, the ball will be dropped for one player of the team that last touched the ball at the point of the last touch. All other players of both teams must be 4 meters, 4.5 yards away. If the ball touches the referee or another match official and goes into the goal, team possession changes or a promising attack starts, a dropped ball is awarded.
Rossi's finding referee Sabiga in the way, and it may work out nicely this for Sporting. Johnny Russell, help arriving. Namath! And it did work out nice for Sporting Kansas City.
Summary of law changes and clarification for 2019-2020. Free kicks. When there is a wall of 3 or more defenders, the attackers are not allowed within 1 meter or 1 yard of the wall. An attacker less than 1 meter or 1 yard from the wall when the kick is taken will be penalized with an indirect free kick. When the defending team takes a free kick in their own penalty area, the ball is in play once the kick is taken. It does not have to leave the penalty area before it can be played. Summary of law changes and clarification for 2019-2020. Goal celebrations. If a goal is disallowed, illegal goal celebrating, for instance removing the shirt, are still a yellow card. Goal kick. The ball is in play once the kick is taken. It can be played before leaving the penalty area. Summary of law changes and clarification for 2019-2020. Handball. Deliberate handball. Summary of law changes and clarification. Handball. The following handball situations, even if accidental, will be a free kick. The ball goes into the goal, often attacking player's hand or arm. The ball a player gains control or possession of after the ball has touched their hand or arm and scores or creates a goal-scoring opportunity. The ball touches a player's hand or arm which has made their handball. The following handball situations, even if accidental, will be a free kick. The ball touches a player's hand or arm when it is above their shoulder, unless the player has deliberately played the ball, which then touches their hand or arm. Summary of law changes and clarifications for 2019-2020. Handball. The following will not usually be a free kick unless they are one of the following situations. The ball touches a player's hand or arm directly from their own head, body, or foot. The head, body, or foot of another player who is close or near. The ball touches a player's hand or arm which is close to their body and has not made their body unnaturally bigger. If a player is falling and the ball touches their hand or arm, which is between their body and the ground to support the body, not extended to make the body bigger. No handball. No handball. Summary of law changes and clarifications for 2019-2020. Handball. The goalkeeper cannot score by throwing the ball into the opponent's goal. If the goalkeeper attempts to clear, release into play, a throw-in or deliberate pass from a teammate but the clearance fails, the goalkeeper can handle the ball. Summary of law changes and clarifications for 2019-2020. Indirect free kick. No indirect free kick signal needed once the kick has been taken and it is clear that a goal will not result directly from the kick. Kicking objects. Kicking an object at the Summary of law changes and clarifications for 2019-2020. Penalty kick. The team's penalty taker, if injured, can have quick treatment or assessment and then take the kick. The goalkeeper must not be touching the goalposts, crossbar, or nets, and they must not be moving. If an offense occurs before a penalty kick is taken, the kick is not taken, the offender may receive a yellow or red card, but the penalty kick must then be taken. Summary of law changes and clarifications for 2019-2020. Players' equipment. Multicolored patterned undershirts are allowed if exactly the same as the sleeve of the main shirt. Quick free kick and red card, yellow card. If the referee is about to issue a yellow card or red card, but the non-offending team takes the free kick quickly and creates a goal-scoring opportunity, the referee can delay the yellow card, red card until the next stoppage if the offending team was not distracted by the referee. Summary of law changes and clarifications for 2019-2020. Substitutes. A player who is being substituted must leave the field by the nearest point on the touchline or goal line unless the referee indicates a different point, for instance, because of safety, injury, etc. Verbal offenses. All verbal offenses are penalized with an indirect free kick. Summary of law changes and clarifications for 2019-2020. Team officials. A team official guilty of misconduct will be shown a yellow card caution or red card sending off. If the offender cannot be identified, the senior coach who is in the technical area at the time will receive 2019-2020 Laws of the Game. Reminders. The IFAB and FIFA would like to remind everyone of two very important aspects of the game. Captains. The laws of the game state that the captain has a degree of responsibility for the behavior of their team. Captains are expected to use this responsibility to help calm and positively influence the behavior of their players, especially in controversial or confrontational situations involving opponents or match officials. Respect for referees. Players must respect all decisions made by referees and other match officials, even when they may appear to be wrong. 2019-2020 Laws of the Game. This document summarizes the main changes and clarifications. The agreed wording and explanations are available on IFAB's website, www.theifab.com. A downloadable electronic version of the Laws of the Game for 2019 and 2020 is now available on the IFAB's website, along with the new IFAB Laws of the Game app. All changes began on June 1, 2019. Competitions that started before June 1st may apply the changes from the start of their competitions at an agreed point during the competition, for instance after the mid-season break, or delay the changes until no later than the start of the next competition.